Greetings, Reggie Middleton, and we had some issues with the new device, but I am online now at the Veritasium, New York City headquarters in Times Square, and give a quick update. I got off the phone with the managing director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and good news. Of course, there should be no surprises. Everything is going as planned. The I explained in previous videos that even though we signed a MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding of the deal, in that particular culture, in that business climate, a MOU, that style of handshake is a contract. And it's good to be able to do business on your word. A lot of people from the States say, well, it's not a binding contract, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a gentlewoman's and a gentleman's word and agreement, and it's holding strong. And so what I told them was that I am planning on giving them a functional revenue generating beta the week of September 18th. That is very, very aggressive, but of course I wouldn't do it if I didn't think I could do it. Now, between now and September 18th, between now and September 18th, there's no telling what can and will happen. But as of right now, we are on track to meet that very aggressive deadline. So what it means is we will have the Veritasium rental software functional and ready to go. We may or may not have the Veda ready to go. If we don't have the Veda fully functional, we will have our contract stand in proxy as the Veda. The Veda is a very complex piece of kit, so keep that in mind. Okay, multiple contracts with helper contracts within contracts. We will also have the traditional or traditional-ish exchange software that will be trading fiat currencies as well as some of the more popular tokens: Bitcoin, Ethereum, US dollar, Jamaican dollar, potentially yen, pound, and renminbi. Okay, and of course, Veritasium or Veri. Now, in addition to all of that, we're also planning to have an inaugural deal done where we would take the Veda or the Veda proxy, hopefully the Veda itself, and it will help finance a company in Jamaica proper. Okay, what we're working on is a company that's worth about roughly $300 million. Okay, if that for some reason doesn't fall through, we have a couple of other real world assets that we're looking to veritize, remember that verb, and sell through the exchange beta. And as a fallback, we will have digital assets that we will throw into a trust. And you will have what will look very much like an ETF to those who didn't know any better. Okay, and these would be a digital assets trading trust, tradable trust, as we see it at this minute. Now, what's interesting about this, all three of those potential beta test products will be something that currently does not exist. So the Jamaica Stock Exchange, as a Veritasium client, will be leapfrogging many, if not all, of the global exchanges that are multiples of this size. Very interesting, particularly now as we have the news of China rumored to be shutting down their Bitcoin and digital currency exchanges. And they'll be doing this at the same time or in the proximity of the time that the Jamaica Stock Exchange is looking to leapfrog into the future. Very interesting, okay? The Jamaica Stock Exchange makes a very, very strong case as a Veritasium client and a purchaser of the Veri tokens, Veritas tokens. Now, with all that being said, I'm going to go to questions. And also, we've had quite a few Veritas or Veri holders testing the rental facility. Very positive feedback in general, and it was a beta 1 test, so of course there were some usability issues, bugs, etc. We quickly put that out. We are actually at beta 3 now, and we're looking to have a beta 4 what's today, Friday? It'll be by next week. You're not going to get it this week. Okay. I think we're ending a sprint next week. Should be very interesting. Okay. And we're looking, hopefully, at the end of next week or the beginning of to open that up to a public beta. But we shall see. Now, and again, I'm about to get the questions. I see the questions are going down. And right now, I want everybody, there's 118 people online, consecutive, 121 is gaining. I need for everybody, okay, to like this video right now, please, to help us out with some popularity. And for everybody to hit the share button and share to everybody on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, your social media of choice. Let's get the crowd going so everybody gets on board and gets to see what's going on in Veritasium. And again, I'd like to say thank you and I love you to the Veritasium community. You guys support us. You make everything possible. And for those who were felt disparaged or felt there was a lot of FUD, as in fear, uncertainty, doubt being spread, due to, I guess, what others people call trolls, I want everybody to mark the so-called professionals' comments to market. So that's a financial term. So for everybody who said because there's no access to the GitHub, there's no code being written, take a look at the amount of product that we're pushing, okay, and the quality of what's being pushed in terms of design, GUI, etc., and the level of, I don't want to say complexity, but the level of functionality that's being put together from a financial engineering perspective, from a software engineering perspective, from a creativity perspective. Everything that we do, except for the actual exchange trading software, is fully distributed and decentralized. Okay, even the web pages are being served on a distributed basis. So these apps are written in a very, very different fashion. Okay, we're rolling, we're rocking and rolling. The beta to be delivered to the stock exchange somewhere around the week of September 18th, as I said, will come exemplifying and illustrating an actual deal being put together. If things go as planned, that deal for that $350 million some odd company will be roughly $20 million or so, and hopefully it will be purchased by some very, very large funds as a, trial. Okay, these funds should be averaging between $50 and about $250 million per deal. Okay, this will be an over-the-counter deal using Veritas tokens. Over-the-counter, peer-to-peer, Paul purchased directly to and from Peter. Okay, now, let's go. And remember, everybody who said because of no white paper or that I don't like the website or I can't see the code in GitHub, because I guess for some reason people don't realize you need a password to get into a private GitHub account. Just take a look at the progress, take a look at what we're announcing, and see if it's for real, okay? At Veritasium over here in Times Square and around the world, we're doing real business, okay? And I'm very, very proud of my team. Proud of my analysts, I'm proud of my software developers and engineers, definitely proud of my biz dev guys. You guys are kicking. I have other big surprises to announce in Jamaica. I asked representatives of the Jamaican government if it would be all right for me to announce what we're working on, if they're interested in moving forward. I will quote, I was given permission to say this, that they're very interested in moving forward with what we have in mind. Okay, I'm not going to tell you exactly what we have in mind with the government of Jamaica, but it is very, very advantageous to the government, very, very advantageous to the country, and I'm also doing the same with the private sector as well. And let the software development / financial engineering gods deem us to be worthy. We'll put this demonstration out as a beta, working beta, not only to the Jamaica Stock Exchange, but shortly thereafter, I will open it up as a very closely held beta to large very holders. If that works out, we'll open it up slowly as we test it, bug bounty contest, etc., until we can release it to everybody. Okay, now, did everybody like this video and everybody share it? Appreciate it. We got 200 people online simultaneously, and let's go through these questions, because that's what this is supposed to be, a Q&A. And we have a lot of questions. It looks like I was talking for a while. Hoping for instant obesity to sometimes buying prices hasn't tested. But this is all temporary, long term. Remember, Veritasium is a software utility and platform software product in which we can basically apply our financial investment, software engineering, etc., expertise, advisory, and consultancy in a very scalable fashion. So instead of being a consultant one-on-one or advisor one-on-one, we'd be a consultant one-on 100,000, one-on 1 million. Okay, very different business model. Okay, don't look at this as an investment. We're not selling it as an investment. But from a value-added perspective, from a utility, I think we're knocking it out the park. I actually think we're knocking it out of the park right now. We don't really advertise. Okay, so no, we don't list everything we've been doing on the website, and we have it. Okay, and we don't push every deal we've been doing, simply because we want to get a certain amount of traction, and we have certain regulatory issues we prefer to stay clear of. But proof is in the pudding. Remember what I said in the last video, right? Don't talk, do. You'll see we'll be doing very quickly. The long-term hard work is being put down, so Reggie have a company that can last 100 years. I hope the company lasts 100 years plus, but the actual platform that we're putting down should be anti-fragile. Not only should it be permanent, but it should get stronger as adversity hits it. Rice diet, so I can accumulate. Thank you very much for the support, everybody. Do you think Veri will be listed on FFinex? I don't know if Veri will be listed on FFinex, but I can guarantee you that Veri will be listed on the Veritasium/Jamaica Stock Exchange joint venture. And not only will we be listed, but the Veritasium technology and tokens will be the wrapper to veritize a large swath of assets. We're talking distressed real estate, distressed credit opportunities, capital formation opportunities, liquidity provision opportunities, etc. So I understand everybody's thinking in terms of traditional, digital currency exchanges. It's time to step into the future. It's time to be introduced to what this technology is truly capable of. So, hopefully FFinex and Bitfinex and everybody else will list us. There seems to be some resistance listing Veritasium. And listing Veritasium. But as a business, we moved around it. The exchange that we're building in concert with the Jamaica Stock Exchange will trade digital assets and physical assets in digital form. Okay, that I can guarantee you will be amazing. Now, we're not speaking on jurisdictional issues and regulatory issues and who would be able to purchase XYZ from where. Right now, we're working on the technical platform and the financial engineering platform. Okay. Let me go back to the top. Lots of questions. Keep the questions coming. I will answer questions for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Give me a chance to scroll down. This is the video. Reggie is leaving hints for us. I'm looking for actual questions. By the way, there's a lot more worse places to do a business deal than sunny Jamaica with tropical weather, nice sunny beaches, and beautiful sun. Definitely worse places to do a deal. No, I mean close to the New York Stock Exchange and Frankfurt Stock Exchange, Jamaica Stock Exchange. Oh yeah, speaking of larger exchanges, I was also on the phone with the prospect. I told you it's one of the top 10 global exchanges. Things move very slowly over the summer. It is now, first week in September. School is back, people are back to work, and we're moving forward. I hopefully gave a spin on the proposition that this particular exchange management cannot refuse. They sounded very excited. We're looking to move forward on that. They are doing some internal checking, and hopefully I'll have an announcement with them. Again, no guarantees, but it's looking very strong. I'm excited. They tell me they're excited. This exchange is large. It's in the trillions of dollars, not the billions of dollars, not the hundreds of billions. Okay, enough of that. We'll go to Veritasium and help say there's. Okay, I don't see too many questions, but I do see a lot of support, and I definitely love that. Okay, so the Vader contract is what separates Veri and Reggie from the rest. I have discussed things such as generational wealth. I don't want it to be misconstrued that Veritasium itself generates generational wealth. Generational wealth is something that emanates from a behavior, a pattern of behavior, and not from any particular thing. Veritasium, and I'm going to say this again and again and again, is not an investment. It is a utility software platform. But if you purchase Veritasium and you use it, it gives you the potential to gain control over this platform for your use and potentially for the use of others. Control gives you influence. Influence gives you the potential for generational wealth. But I do not want that to be confused with saying Reggie is pushing investments or securities or anything else. I've been saying this ad nauseum from the introduction videos from before we did the token offering. I did it during the token offering, and I'm doing it after the token offering, and I'm going to say it ad nauseum, okay? I've lost my marriage, and any questions, everybody? I'm going to try and make this a relatively short video, but I will answer whatever questions I have. When do you expect Veritasium to be traded on a major exchange? That's up to exchanges. Okay, they've had plenty of time to list us. For some reason, they chose not to. And we have solved that problem by building our own facility, or actually building a facility for a client, which is the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Okay, the Jamaica Stock Exchange will be very, very advanced, particularly in comparison to those who are used to trading on cryptocurrency exchanges or even on the traditional legacy exchanges. The stuff that Jamaica plans to be offering in conjunction with Veritasium's guidance and consultation and advisory will be things that are not available on the New York Stock Exchange, not available on NASDAQ or the LSE or the Tokyo Stock Exchange, etc. Okay. Now, there is one of the large exchanges, it could be one of the ones I mentioned or not, that may very well be trading assets like these as well in the not so distant future, but we shall see. Remember, there are regulatory hurdles, potential sandbags to practice in, etc. But you know, once we get to go ahead and things look definite, or at least we get permission to speak on it, I'll announce it and you'll see where we're coming from. Reggie looks very happy. Hey, traction makes me happy. You know, I work hard and it's good to see a little result from the work. Okay, quickly going through. And I don't understand how is that version. Okay, now I don't see any questions. If you have any questions, ask them to me before I go down. Any news on the top 10 exchange you are targeting? I just gave a quick update. Okay, things should move quicker now relative to the summer because in a lot of the large financial centers, a lot of the employees of the financial institutions either vacation a lot for the summer or don't work at the same pace that they do during the fall and the winter. However, lent very securitized, so lenders know they will get them back. I went through that in the past, but there are two rental facility methodologies. One is economic rent. If you go through the previous videos, I explain economic rent, or you can Google it, look it up in Wikipedia. And the other is contract rent. Contract rent is the rent where the renting fashion methodology, where you actually need collateral because you want to assure the return of your tokens. In doing that, you choose the amount of collateral you put up, you choose the price, and you choose the terms as the rentee, as the person who is actually renting your tokens to somebody else. And so if you are concerned with the return of your tokens or risk of volatility or the possibility of shooting up, you simply ask for more collateral. There's no limit on it. There's no limit in any of the terms. Now, of course, if the terms become too stringent, okay, the other side may choose not to rent. So this is basically a tool for you to communicate and deal with others. Reggie, it's a pleasure witnessing you build this. Can you explain the ratio in the rental facility, 1 Very to 100F, please? That's a placeholder, but basically, remember, Very are keys to get into our financial machines. The Vader is the first such financial machine, which allows you to participate in exposure to other tokens or the activities of others. Okay, so the 1 Very to 100F is an indication that would take 1 Very to participate in 100F worth of activity. That 1 Very is the key to get in, the key to get into the door. Okay, hopefully I explained that. As you get to play with the actual rental facility, when we do a public beta, that will be plain and clear, because the interface is actually very simple, simplistic, and smooth and functional. I actually must say that myself, because I thought that, but of course I'm a little biased. I helped build it, but as we let the beta testers come in, the vast majority of them, if not almost all of them, agreed. Hi Reggie, how do I get in touch with you about using Veri for a biotech application? You can email me. Go to the Veritasium site, veritasium.com. Click to contact us. Email me. Let me know what you have to say. How much is Veri dependent on research and how much on the software engine? Well, Veri is not dependent on either. Veri is a utility software. Research is a service and a product that we sell. The research is dynamic and interactive through the Vader financial machine. If you do a Google search on Veritasium Vader, that's VEADIR, or just go through the blog, veritasium.com, go through the blog post, and you'll see a full description on our financial machines in the Vader. Will it be easy to access Jamaican citizens at Reggie Middleton? Very subjective questions relative to what easy means, and so I'm not clear on that. It's hard for me to answer. He said he loves us, but we love you too. But thank you very much. And as I tell my daughter, I love you more. You go back and forth. I like that. Love is a good thing. Let's spread it. Everybody spread love. Okay? Hit share. That's one way of spreading love. Is Omisigo in competition with Veritasium? That's an interesting question. I have to learn more about their business model and what they're doing. I haven't looked deep into it because I've been too busy doing a lot of my own. But because we do heavy financial engineering and deal making, I think, and we actually encapsulate that into the business logic and smart contracts to put on the blockchain as a platform, basically a platform investment banking style institution. I think we're fairly unique. But I don't know if Omisigo does that. I doubt so, but I don't know for sure. I will go over it in detail in time. We'll have my analysts do it. Copy and paste to do. Awesome, awesome. Your vision is amazing. Well, thank you very much. My vision comes from being objective and keeping it simple. Remember, 2 + 2 = 4, and it's always going to equal 4, regardless of what everybody else says, regardless of, the fad of the day, regardless of how fancy your white paper is or website. 2 + 2 = 4. It's simple in terms of objective observation. Yes, I am getting gray because I'm getting older. Reggie will be 50 years old in a couple of weeks. Old man. Keeping in shape, though. So we'll Veri have an exchange. All of us token holders can trade peer-to-peer. There are 2 types of exchanges. There's a peer-to-peer or distributed exchange, and there's a centralized exchange. I doubt very seriously if many sovereign institutions are prepared for a fully distributed exchange yet. That's a big step. So those that will be sponsored and backed by sovereign institutions will most likely be the traditional centralized exchanges. But those exchanges will be trading tokens that can be removed from them and traded peer-to-peer through the blockchain. Sort of a hybrid, and very interesting, something that you can't do with many other tradable assets that go through centralized trading facilities. Is there anything we will need to do in order to trade Veri on the JSE? Those are things that you have to ask your lawyer. There are a lot of jurisdictional issues and regulatory issues. I'm not even going to opine upon them. Not even going to try. So ask your regulatory authority. Ask your lawyer. Thank you for being proud of me. Nice to see you, Reggie. Thank you very much. Veri, I'm going to speed through these to try and get to the end. Okay, appreciate Reggie. Thank you, Veri team. And please do thank the Veritasium team because they're the ones that make this happen. Realize I'm the one that always talks because A, I talk for a living, and B, there's a lot of uncalled for, unnecessary negative nonsense, FUD and garbage. And not everybody wants to put up with it. Actually, nobody wants to put up with it, but not everybody's cut to put up with it and built to put up with it. So I stand in front as the CEO of the company, and I take a lot of it. If there was not so much character assassination and FUD, you'd probably hear from other members of the team. I'm not going to force them to speak and put up with that nonsense because A, they have better things to do, like work and produce the things that we're producing in record time. And also, it takes a certain type of personality. Hopefully, the community grows in general, and those who feel they need to do the character assassination, spreading FUD, etc., will fall to the wayside because true productivity is coming to the forefront. This opportunity of distributed value transfer, of blockchain technology and smart contracts, of platform economics taking over every business vertical on the planet, meaning you're dropping friction and you're increasing productivity and liquidity, is the greater by far than the burgeoning of the internet in the early 1990s, by far. And you see how much value was released and created with the internet. You haven't seen anything yet. Mark my word on that. Bitcoin, can you explain the Veda to us? That's I can. It's a financial machine that purchases exposure to other things, and then holders of Veritasium as a key can unlock that and then gain access to that machine. If you want a more detailed explanation, go to the Veritasium.com website and look through the blog posts, and you'll see it, or you can do a search for the term Vader, VEADIR. I think I also called it something else too, but simply scroll through the blog post, please. It's very for small investors or just big ones. Again, Veritasium is utility software. It's not an investment. It can be used as utility software to build facilities for investment, but it takes some work from you. I don't think it's impossible or even difficult if you know how to read and you are clear on what you want. You can also buy consulting services from Veritasium. For right now, we're going towards large clients or very unique clients because we want things to be built. We want things to be done. Okay? I cannot say often enough, there's a line of demarcation. We are not pushing and selling investments. We are pushing and selling utility software. We are pushing and selling the second coming, the greater coming of what was the internet. Hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button. Reggie, do you have other countries we're working on with or about this time or can talk about, or just Jamaica? We're looking into other countries. We gladly would like to deal with other countries. What we'll do with the countries is we have investors, actual investors that are looking for exposure to distressed credits and non-performing assets, and in conjunction with our software, we can enable these investors to deal directly with whoever they may want to purchase assets from. Okay, and that's how it works in a nutshell. Again, one-on-one, very similar to Peter buying a house for Paul, or Peter making an investment of XYZ widgets from Paul. Okay? What would be the minimum dollars to be used in the Vader platform? We're not at that point yet. Of course, the smaller the amount, the more expensive proportionally the fees would be, because it's being run through the blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain at this point, and you have gas to take into consideration. Reggie is very a utility settlement software. It's a utility software, not necessarily for settlement. Okay, you can build it for settlement, you can build it for other things. Think of it as hammer and nails and wood that you can use to build a whole variety of things. So you're pushing investments. It's amazing how I can say that Veritasium is not an investment and that you're not pushing investments. I've said that at least 3 or 4 times in this video, yet someone could turn around and say, so you're pushing investments. The answer is no, for the 5th time. Price projection for Veri once deals are done. I don't do that. That's like asking Microsoft for a price projection on the demand for their server software. We're doing this to create a platform. I understand prices may be important to some. They're irrelevant to us. We're looking for value. Okay, I want to build the value of the Veritasium platform. I want the Veritasium platform to be equivalent in terms of value to the internet itself and the World Wide Web. Will small token holders be able to pool our Veri together for opportunities? Depends on the regulatory aspects of that. The regulatory aspects there's a lot that comes into play. From a technical perspective, you will be able to do it. From a regulatory perspective, I don't know. You have to check the regulations in your particular jurisdiction. Okay, but technically it's possible. If a crypto company wanted you to do a valuation of their company, is the best way to email you? Yes, that's the best way to do it for right now. Once the Vader is up and operational, the Vader will be autonomous, and you actually request something like that through the Vader itself. But we're still working on that portion, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way through us. Once the Vader is up and running as an autonomous entity, a smart contract, you will interact directly with the Vader, and we will be simply subcontractors of the Vader. I loan money on homes bought at foreclosure. Would I be able to sell these assets on the very platform? That's something you'd have to ask us about, okay? You need to learn more about your business and, again, regulatory issues. You have to work with that and make sure you don't run afoul of regulatory rules. Is there any point in investors holding very tokens, or are they intended for institutions or high net worth individuals? We keep going back to the investor vernacular, semantics and vernacular. I don't want to repeat myself over and over, but if you have any questions, I would say email me, but I don't want to be inundated with emails with something I've answered before. So for those in the community that can address that for me, please do, okay? I expect all Veritasium token holders to be users of the utility, okay? I can't prevent you from speculating on Veri, okay? And it's not my job to prevent you to it, but please be very, very clear. We're selling utility software, platform software. Will you buy research firms in other fields, health, CPG, real estate? Quite possible. We're definitely going to issue research in there. As for buying the firms, I don't know if that would be cost effective, but we most definitely will buy talent. So as we move into those firms, we'll buy those analysts or those people who are very talented. Okay, buying firms is a totally different level. I hope the pension funds in us work for you, in the U.S. work for you, with you. That would be very interesting. I hope they would. Very interesting. Are you planning an open beta? We're definitely planning an open beta right after the closed beta is successfully ended. I don't want to open it until I feel it's ready, but once we're ready once the closed beta is ended, we'll definitely go to open beta. I expect the open beta to come on a rental facility, at least the economic rental facility, relatively quickly. Hopefully within 2 weeks, but we'll see with the software development gods being generous. Do you think there will be a .com moment in cryptos? Possibly. Any more reports like you did for Golem soon? Yes, we actually have 3 reports on tap. I just have to give them a QA and have to publish them. We are going to publish them as part of one of the Vader implementations, so you can see how it works in actuality in real time. Hopefully that will be somewhere around the beta for the Jamaica Stock Exchange facilities. Do you think the utility settlement coin, when released, will take a bit out of the Veri pie? I doubt so very seriously, but you never know. Okay, they're not exactly the same thing, and realize that a significant portion, if not the majority, of the value proposition for Veritasium is the platformification of this, right? Intellect, knowledge, capability. Can you tell us about any updates on the Veritasium rental facility? I just did. Every time this guy talks, it smells fishy. Well, okay, well, if you think it smells fishy, I would suggest you don't listen to me talk. Ether Delta had problems. We don't have any connection to Ether Delta. We don't own them. We don't work with them. We don't partner. They're a decentralized exchange, which means that you can list your token on them simply by putting in the contract address. So that eliminates political issues and issues that are other than objective in listing the token, which is why Veritasium is listed there. Yes, small investors can definitely take part of the beta, but remember that Veritasium is not an investment. But if you're looking as a small token holder to beta test the the rental beta? Of course you can when it goes open. Anybody can do it once it's an open beta. I just ask you to report the bugs when you're done. If Bitcoin were to die, could Veritas survive? Those are subjective questions. There's really not much of a relation between Bitcoin and Veritas. Thank you for answering my golden question. My follow-up is around how many variables will be needed for a single report. We'll see at that point, because the very reports that we've been issuing thus far were basically manual reports to get the analysts up to speed in this new way of analyzing and attempting to value things. Once they go through the actual Veda, things will be much different. The Veda research will be actionable in and of itself. The research itself is dynamic and active. If you read the blog posts on the Veritasium website, it goes into a deeper explanation. And I'm going to wind down. Let me just get 2 or 3 more questions, and I have to bid you adieu. What do you have to say to all the people who call you out for holding most of the very tokens in circulation? Okay, well, let me tell you what I have to say. That's calling me out is like, what do you have to say to Microsoft for holding most of the Microsoft server software licenses? It's not calling Microsoft out. Microsoft sells server software. Veritasium sells tokenized platform software. Okay, there's no calling me out for holding my own inventory. We have inventory, we sell it to customers and clients. Okay, we have most of it because customers and clients have not bought most of it yet. The more the customers and clients buy our token software and services, the less we will have. Okay, so by using terminology such as calling you out, you are exhibiting a gross misunderstanding of the Veritasium business model. Okay, hopefully you can understand it. Hopefully I think that was a simplified explanation. If somehow I failed in giving a simple explanation, please come back at me with another question, and I'll go at it again, and I'll keep going at it until I succeed in getting everybody to understand. Any progress with the patents? They're still in the process of prosecution. I will let you know. I will let you know when there's something to let you know. Okay, and we do have quite a few questions coming up, but I am going to have to go because, as the family man that I am, I have to go feed my daughter. And I think that the community can address many of these questions. Veritasium holders and those who follow Veritasium, Veri, and myself, please feel free to address the questions that are in the comment section. Thank you very much for everybody who took the time out to participate in this video interactively and ask questions. Thank you very much for everybody who liked the video, gave it a thumbs up, and who shared it. We have 305 simultaneous viewers. That's very well. Might even be a record. 218 likes. I definitely appreciate it. And thank you very much to the Veritasium community. Thank you to everybody who is desiring of a thanks. Okay? I bid you adieu. Au revoir. Peace. And please keep supporting us. We're looking to do fantastic things in the most unimaginable places. More stuff coming up as I get permission to announce it. Goodbye.